pleasant enough. You know, VT Faded, Jiahao is a nice guy. It's just, well, you know, he did some dumb stuff.
All jokes aside, Jonathan, I mean, at the end of the day, the stuff he did, to me, it's unforgivable. Like, it's good that he's been banned, right? No, nobody deserves a second chance with that kind of crap. So, you know, I just can't help myself. The meme's just too funny. It really is.
It is.
Anyway.
It is.
Moving on.
Yeah. Do you remember Tony Stark on T1 before?
Oh, Tony Stark. Still don't know who he was.
No.
Still just don't know who he was.
It's Tony Stark.
We miss
That's all
Tony.
I need to know.
Yeah. Best part is that the guy said to us as well, don't tell anyone who I am. And it's like, bro, everyone knows who you are. Like, everyone knows.
I think at this point, the people who knew forgot, so legitimately no one knows.
Well, now nobody knows. Now everyone's like, well, who the hell's Tony? Like, you guys talking about the Iron Man movies. No, we're not. We're talking about a player that was named Tony Stark that stood in one day. And it was, you know, a legitimate stand-in, by the way, Jonathan. I don't want to... A bit of a bad follow-up after the VT Faded jokes, obviously, but, you know, it was a legitimate stand-in.
Oh, it's getting funnier and funnier for me, Mike, watching you dig a hole.
Oh, Split Earth. This isn't too funny. They've caught out the Marana. Hanskin, forced to level up the leap early just to be able to get away. Will be able to survive, but obviously doesn't really want level 1 leap at level 1. Bounty Runes, it should be a 2 for 2, though Charlie... Oh, never mind. He'll find a third one for his team. Ivy is still chasing the DK down, but unable to get there. Ponlo, in the meantime, going to run right into Zani, but he doesn't mind because he's got that battery assault up, so they actually can't fight him. Like, he'll do more harassment to them than they can do to him. 2v1. As long as the battery assault is going, and of course now it is going to wear off. So he does need to get out of there. Very action-packed bounty rune timing here at the 0-minute mark. As of course we are going to start off with the mid lane. Chuan is going to be up against Stoikov here in this mid lane. The Sniper vs Leshrak matchup. Jonathan, who do we expect to come out on top of this one?
I mean, it feels a lot more stable for Chuan. Stoikov can make some plays if he wants to take the risk, run forward with the Lightning Storm up, the slowest enough to pin Chuan down. And you can follow up with Split Earth. You can just sit back and farm up too. But eventually, once Chuan hits a level 3, level 4, that's when it feels impossible to reach into the Sniper. So you might have to look at support rotations. There is a little bit of action coming out with Coop here.
It certainly is. He's getting very aggressive. In fact, Hanskin's the one getting aggressive here on the Marana. He's actually going to see the Snapfire a second time. Doesn't have level 2, so he's going to get cookied. And he's dead. When he committed all his leap charges for that chase, that's kind of the rough part of it all, is like he didn't even have Starfall to, or rather Starstorm to drop. And sadly, Hanskin will go down.
Yeah. Doesn't have a TP on hand either, so you can't just run back to that lane. It's more time where you've got this solo matchup coming out here for Ivy to play with. Not that you mind too much in Charlie, it is a DK. So you're just able to farm up anyway, get some solo XP. Overall, it doesn't hurt Alliance too badly, although the bonus gold is a pretty big factor for Ivy to control that lane. And that's the one thing in this lane, like you aren't running your Enchantress Doom, so you have a lot more aggression coming out with just these cookie plays you can get out. You already have the Chain Lightning creep as well from Ade, so you can harass Charlie a fair bit, but you don't really care. You've got Dragon Blood, you've got the regen. You can tickle him all he wants, but also be a bit careful.
Charlie, yeah, it's a lot of damage being dealt. They've got that Chain Lightning creep again. You kind of mentioned this during the draft phase, but Charlie's just dead. It's just so much damage. 140 initial damage with that Chain Lightning is... You will see the tip handed over here to Charlie. And, yeah, I mean, you can't underestimate it. Like, the DK with all this armor doesn't really matter when you've got the magic damage to burst out.
Yeah, I mean, he felt confident enough trading the right clicks, but with the burn on hand, level 2 Scorched Earth for Ade, it hurts a lot. And he is quite durable as well. He doesn't mind trading right clicks with the Wraith Band up. So it's going to be a little bit slower for Alliance now with those 2 kills bleeding out. And I don't really see any opportunities for you to go for Dragon Tail Arrow as well. Because Coop is staying so far back, and make a move on Ade, it doesn't seem feasible for you to find that kill onto Doom. He is equally as tanky as the DK so far in this game.
S4. Top lane gonna find himself in danger. Ponlo was trying to save with the Kongs, but can't quite get there in time. So Zani able to pick up a very important kill himself now on the Naga Siren, and it almost feels like a repeat of game 1, doesn't it? Like, just the lanes. Especially the side lanes. Just not working out in the favor of Alliance whatsoever.
It's just they're not able to find aggression. Ivy sees these openings for them to play with. They can run down. You've got pretty passive lanes coming out from Alliance. Despite having these two aggressive supports, it's not like they can connect at the moment anyway. So Ivy can just work these lanes out better. Like, you think about top lane for S4, I mean, Underlord is just, by its very nature, a pretty passive hero. Clears out waves, trades right clicks perhaps, but mainly just wants to find farm. And the Clockwork can follow through, but you're double melee into the inch. So JMV can just stand back, keep spamming out this impetus shots. There's no way you can easily clear out these enchanted creeps as well. So every single one has a lot of value for JMV. And you just can't do anything. Like, look at JMV just running down. A couple of impetus shots. The clap from the tomato creep, and S4 is half HP.
Yeah. Very, very kind of tough affair here. JMV gonna back out for now. S4 gonna have to play a lot safer here on the old Underlord. We are gonna have another pause as Stoikov, maybe still experiencing some lag issues here with the internet. He's having a pretty decent time right now, 20 and 9, but Chwen's having an even better time on the sniper, 23 and 10. It's kind of the safety you have with Alliance's draft, right? Like if your DK doesn't do amazing, which right now he isn't, you do have a secondary carry in a sense in the form of Chwen on the sniper to kind of rely on. Not that I'm necessarily saying Chwen's going to go the... Oh. Like, there's an emergency, or we have internet problems?
We'll get clarification. Hopefully it's nothing too
hopefully
serious
everything's
here
okay.
for... Yeah, hopefully everything's alright for Stoikov.
Anyway, the point I was making is I'm not sure what kind of build-up Chwen's going to go for on the sniper, but it doesn't really take much for the sniper to start feeling like a pretty big right-click carrier, right? Like, this hero can be quite devastating with the right amount of items.
Yeah, I mean, you're already at the powered creds, you're queuing up the double rate bands here for Chuen, and that is when the sniper can start to feel pretty silly. And he doesn't need to worry about early jump-ins, because quite frankly, you don't have that mobility on hand here from Ivy. So it's not like you're pressured to go for your early shard, go for the early horse staff. You're pretty secure in just sitting back and farming. So you do have that kind of just set for you. Charlie says, going ready. Hotline just says, wait. JMV says, we're not ready yet. It's like, yeah, right. Alright, fellas.
I appreciate the exclamation mark here from JM. You know, really letting him know how ridiculous of a go-in ready that was from old Charlie. Goodness me. 0-3 again, like a fantastic start here. Everything just going swimmingly for Ivy.
Just what I've been waiting for.
I'm kind of curious to see, like, what did Alliance say to each other after laning stages like this? Because last game was the same thing, right? Like, they have this terrible laning stage, but then they somehow just get together and make it work anyway. I wonder what the comms are like in these kind of circumstances. Like, only the mid lane's going well. Bottom's going terribly. Top's going terribly. Who's making the calls here, John? Like, who's saying what?
Your S4 is kind of telling all of them to calm down. You know, he's the veteran of the team. He's telling them, you know, it's alright, guys. We've got this after laning. You know, it's fine. Our tempo is a little bit later. They have more aggressive lanes. Maybe Ponlo says something dumb in the side. I don't know. I don't know what's a typical Ponlo thing to say. To be honest, all I know is... Because every time me and Ponlo talks, he just curses at me. So it's not really stream-friendly what Ponlo would say. And I'm sure he says something to cheer up the team. 100% he does something. For sure.
I mean, they could just look around and look at him, John, to be frank. I think that'd give a laugh to everyone.
Why you gotta roast him that bad in his own game? Man?
Oh, he's swearing at us every time we try to talk to the guy. We used to be friends once upon a time, me and old Ponlo, but now he doesn't. He's just too cool for us. Just gets the alliance tag, and suddenly he just can't talk to us lowly casters anymore. It's mid lane. Speaking of
like
the devil.
Fear.
Oh, I mean, don't even get me started on Fear. I mean, obviously, me and him are beefing pretty hard right now, John, as you saw on Reddit. Ponlo, mid lane. I mean, he's made a bit of a rotation here, Jonathan. Missed out on the courier just barely, which is a little bit upsetting, but it was just an observe ward. Stoikov, I don't believe, has noticed he's there yet. Very, very sneaky plays here from that Clockwork.
Oh.
And he will jump in. Cogs are out. Stoikov trapped within them. Chuan is there with the follow-up damage. Stoikov dropping low is going to go down. Very strong rotation here from Ponlo, and now Coop. He rotated. He'll go for a cookie, but he needs to run. Level 6 is up on Chuan, but he hasn't gone for any points in Assassinate, so it looks like he is going to give up on the chase. Nevertheless, you got the mid-Leshrac. You're going to be very happy with that as Ponlo. He is still trying to go in, and he will.
Oh,
Battery cell popped. Shrapnel is there from Chuan. Oh, Ponlo! Oh, that's not. You can't pause it yourself, Ponlo.
I mean, he did stop for a moment. So
S4 literally resumed the game. I don't care if Ponlo died. Let me just play. Game what?
I mean, he
game
did
hang.
stand,
Same for us.
Yeah, it just froze, I suppose. Maybe just some server issues on hand.
Yeah, nice excuse.
I mean, he stood still. Yeah, Ponlo stood still. He walked in. It looked like he gave up, but I'm pretty sure Ponlo never gives up, knowing how he does. Yeah, JMV telling us that the experience is as well. So hopefully we don't get that coming anytime soon, as it does give us a chance to switch down bot. Look at that. Aid not in good spot.
A very pretty sight, though.
Yeah, that's good timing.
Hold on a minute, Jonathan. I was going to make a reference to the anime, but then I realized you haven't watched it anyway, so I won't.
I'm going to watch
Bottom lane.
one.
Alright. He's going to try and go for a run. Chase is on. Charlie doesn't have any spells to throw out, but Hanson's getting plenty of damage off, and eventually they're going to die. But Chuan has also gone down mid lane. So they probably find an even better trade here in the mid lane as JMV ends up picking off the kill.
Yeah, you're happy with that. JMV also intercepted the courier of Chuan a while ago while they were going pretty far forward. And this all stemmed off of just that hanging moment for Ponlo. Unfortunate. They get a bit too aggressive. They get punished. And that's your one big lane that's winning out here for the side of Alliance, just dropping. You still have this key timing for Chuan, though. Double rate bands plus power treads up. So the sniper is a menace now. He right-clicks pretty hard. He has good armor. Even if he does get dived, you're going to need magic damage to really clear him out. And now, as long as Ponlo's on top with control, you can find these kills onto Stoikov if he's not careful. And Ponlo's trying again with another sneaky position.
That he is. Stoikov, he's going to go for a run. This time around, Ponlo cannot close the gap, but I suppose the thing is, as long as this Leshrac is just running away from the creep wave, you're probably more than happy. As Stoikov, well, they'll get a nice Observer D-Ward off here while they're at it. He pops the Arcane Rune. Meanwhile, bottom lane, there's a bit of a type going on here. Hansken getting very deep. He's going to back his way out. Charlie's just casually pushing the bottom tier 1 tower. Back down to the mid lane. Chuan is getting jumped right now by GMV. Stoikov's going to be there with the follow-up stun, and they will have their way with the sniper, but now Stoikov's in trouble. Still a nice cookie away is going to allow him to get out as Ponlo goes down. So Ivy punishing them for the rotation. Stoikov now with a double kill on the Leshrac. While that was happening, bottom lane tier 1 tower does get denied off, and now Ivy are onto the mid tier 1 tower. As Hansken, he can leap away. That was his final leap charge. And this tier 1 tower, it's going to take some substantial amount of damage.
Yeah, they don't fully commit inside of Ivy, no creeps up. Just back off. It is only a level 1 Diabolic Edict as well, so it's not a ridiculous pace coming out here from Ivy, and Alliance are finding some leeway on the side lanes. You've got room for S4 to farm, you've got room for Charlie to farm. Number 1 in net worth right now on that DK. So all things considered, despite these kills coming out from Ivy, it's still a rather even game. 1k lead coming their way, not massive by any means. You are getting room out for Sani, but you also expect that Alliance cores don't need as much farm.
Ponlo's going to find JMV. Nice little enchant there from JMV. They're going to bring the creep back their way as S4 going to join in, but JMV is still on the run. A couple more right clicks will do it. In fact, make it just one. Ponlo able to secure the kill as this Warpine Raider is still going to chase him down, but so Ponlo should be able to farm it up just fine, and he will. Very, very nice.
Managed to get some pickoffs here for Alliance's end. And those are pickoffs they do need every single time. They are at the point where the Midas is pretty much done on Charlie, flying out now. So the farm can escalate for that DK. Go for like the Blink BKB into the Yags. That here starts to become a pretty good solution for the illusions on August Iron as well. Like the splash damage can do a lot of work on top of the Firestorm coming out from S4. So you have some good solutions here.
Ooh.
You just need to stem that bleeding right now from Ivy.
Very strong smoke break from Ponlo. A mid-rotation as a 3-man, not going to pan out. That may have just saved Chuen's life. Or even Charlie's life, because it looks like they were heading down towards the bot lane. Meanwhile, rotations are only coming into the mid here from Alliance, so it seems like they're getting ready to try and set up onto Stoikov again, but Ponlo's the one to get jumped as he is trying to secure the power rune, though the Conc's pushing back Stoikov is going to mean that it does get denied off, and Coop's actually the one to drop as S4's joined in. With the Fiend's Gate, Stoikov's going to drop S4, he says thank you very much, and he's out of there.
Yeah. I like seeing that coming out from S4. He gets a good read at, he can make a play in here, he teleports in, and they clean up onto the Lesh. They sacrifice Ponlo in the end, but Chuen gets the field safe despite all these supports on mid. And they slow down the Lesh. That's the one big tempo here they need to keep down here from the side of Ivy, because the Lesh rack provides them with all this early damage and push. S4?
Oh. Yeah, I mean, sometimes you have a brilliant moment, sometimes you have a not so brilliant moment. He does end up dying top lane. As now Stoikov's going to disconnect once again. So the internet issues just not really resolving themselves here, as he will just go for a quick reconnection. You know, the most annoying thing for Stoikov is not only is he having internet issues, but everyone's targeting him mid lane. Like, it's the worst scenario to be in. Because like, you're already having a really annoying time just trying to deal with the internet issues. And on top of that, you just can't like drop your guard. And like, so he's disconnecting every 2 seconds trying to fix the internet. But then he's forgetting about the rotations, maybe he's losing the momentum. You know, the feel of the game disappears, Jonathan.
Yeah, it does. Especially with, you know, these longer reconnects. Ponlo. I mean, this guy. Pretty much, yeah, this is pretty much what you deal with in Southeast Asia, though, isn't it? Chain disconnects. Yeah, you have to be on top of your game. You have to deal with that, you know, indie home packet Phoenix, the PLDCs. Yeah, it's a part of life. It's a part of the game, almost. Not a good part, but a bit of a part of it.
That was the thing, well, off tangent, right? Well, not really, because we aren't talking about internet, but that was the one thing, right? Like, we were in Romania for Tour 1 and Tour 2 of Div 1. And the thing that really caught me off guard, right, is how good their internet was. So we're in a hotel, and I'm getting half a gigabyte speeds, like speed testing, I'm getting 500 megabytes down, and I think it was 250 up, at a hotel. Meanwhile, that's like, I get 1/5 of that speed at home, right? On like the best plan that I can get in Australia. And if I go to a hotel in Australia, like, I don't, like, half the time you can't even get an internet connection. Like, it's so bad. Really? I mean, you can, but it's like this garbage Wi-Fi, and then you do a speed test. It's like under a megabyte download speed, so you can't do anything anyway. It's so bad. Oh, it's just, what are we doing?
How's it worse in the Philippines?
It's so bad. It's legitimately so bad.
Like, I'm on 500 up and down at a pretty decent monthly rate.
Which really
I don't think it's the
me,
highest
by the way.
as well. I know it does, and it makes me happy to see upset Mike. In hotels, you at least get like 50 up and down as well. Per
Not
device.
here, you don't.
What's wrong with Australia, dude? I thought you have the NBN. I thought the NBN would save you.
Oh, mate, it hasn't saved anyone, John. This is how Australia works in that way. You know, we upgrade things as they're about to be, you know, useless anyway. So we just get the upgrade that's about to become irrelevant, and that's what we kind of did. Amazing stuff. Again, by our genius government officials. Yeah?
Because we just got, what was it? The satellite internet. We just got that here too. Starlink.
Did you really?
Yeah, we have Starlink. I mean, I could buy one. Like, the monthly cost is about the same as my current up and down. It's going to be slower for sure, but it's a backup just in case.
This is crazy, man. Like, it gets to a point where our internet's so bad that you start considering satellite internet. Like, that's just terrible. What's the world coming to, man? So just lay down a few lines. It's not that hard. You know? Create a few jobs. Do something. Are we out of pause time, are we? Oh, no, JMV's just letting them know that it's their pause time.
Ponlo, it's still their pause time.
You don't get to negotiate pause time, Ponlo, right?
Naughty, naughty.
I know
Ponlo.
it's still new for you to be in the pro scene, Ponlo. This is not how it works, sir.
You say new. He's been here since RSG, not RSG, but no, yeah, it was Resurgence. Not Reality Rift. Was it Reality Rift? He was on one of those lineups, like in 2017-18. This new kid, as we do get the G, so you can get away from this depressing internet talk.
Yeah. Thank you,
Well,
John.
not depressing for me, it's depressing for you, but, you know, depressing for one of us.
I mean, I would legitimately move countries at this point. Just saying, like, my eyes have been opened. Anyway, moving on. Yeah.
It's more fun in the Philippines. That is our tagline, by the way. Just a heads
Yeah, I
up.
mean, you should really join the tourism board, John. I know how popular you are over there now.
Oh, yeah. Got some good takes for
Ponlo.
tourism here. Oh, good hook.
Nice hook shot, Ponlo. Arrow's gonna land with the cock setup. Ponlo, he's fighting Stoikov once again. That high ground vision they had with the Observer Ward giving just enough for him to go for a blind
Oh,
hook shot.
boy.
He does get caught by his song, but it's gonna be nothing. Ponlo will happily die for this. If he dies, that is. And he will.
Yeah. You drag in the Naga, you force Song out, you drag in Addy as well, and your mid still falls. Like, they still have the output to clear out that mid tier 1. So you find everything. Alliance. Big opening for them as Ivy aren't able to respond in the way they'd want to. Against Stoikov, it's just unfortunate, right? He's been disconnecting, reconnecting, and then, like you said, he's constantly targeted. So every time he's back in the game, it feels like it might as well be paused once more for him when he's dead. And it lost a lot of momentum in that Lesh, right? You're not able to push into mid yourself. You've already got that level 2 Edict. You could shove out the wave now, try to get an opening, but you've provided a ton of space for Alliance to farm. Like, Charlie's just free farming into that BKB. S4 going for the durability. Vanguard up. He can sustain through Zanny, and he tries to harass, and they find JMV.
If they do, JMV can go down once again. Chuen able to pick up the kill himself on the sniper. It's Ivy again. It's a very similar story. Like, it feels like after the 10-minute mark, they just, I don't know if they're falling apart or Alliance just wake up, because it just starts really swinging their way. As speaking of Alliance, S4, he's currently being caught out top lane. He does have the mech Vanguard up, so he's a tanky boy. He also has the Fiend's Gate if he really wants to try for it, but he does not. He wants to go for a run. Problem is the Lightning Storm going to land once again, and he is going to drop. As Ponlo begins being very toxic, claiming Naga Siren is currently missing. Thank you for that, Ponlo. So they are going to get another kill for their way. S4 going to end up dropping.
They get a big courier kill, though. That's Zanny's full Manta, delayed for at least a minute 40, 2 minutes, I think, at peak. So it's a pretty big stall on the Naga. And that is something you can use on lines. They'll go for a smoke play out. They've got the blink up in Charlie.
No, Addy gets jumped immediately. Charlie with a very nice initiation. The arrow is going to, rather the cookie is going to save from the arrow. He's able to get out of there just barely. It's Alliance. Not quite the initiation I think they were hoping for, though. Addy's getting very greedy with that Midas play. Oh, you just, that's why you don't buy Midas, John. Yeah, it gives you those weird intentions, you know? It's like Lord of the Rings. It's the ring, Jonathan. Throw it in the volcano, forget about it.
Yeah, but you've got to use the Midas, right? Yeah, and you've got to build the Midas. You are a Doom offlane. So it makes sense. Just getting a little bit greedy and trying to not have a massive Pitus does cost them in the end. And Alliance, I mean, they're just turning around.
S4, top lane, he's going to be in danger again. Has the mech up, and he's actually just walking with the Moonlight Shadow. They don't have enough. Charlie's here. Song's going to be popped, but they've got the Mortimer's Kisses to come in. Problem is they've chained everything wrong. So Alliance, they're just going to run right out of it. Ponlo, he'll go after Coupe here. This is a very messy engagement. Everyone somehow actually surviving, as now Stoikov going to move back in onto Charlie. Cogs not going to help out too much. Charlie's gone. In fact, Ponlo may also be caught, but looks like he's going to be okay for now. Trying to give Chuen the vision as they hookshot him back again. Stoikov's still being targeted, but everyone's dropping. The Leshrak finally going down as they'll move back in onto the Snapfire. S4 somehow still alive, finally dies into JMV. Is JMV? He's not going to make it. Chuen able to pick up a double kill. 3 for 3 trade. I just don't know how that team fight even happens. It's just such a weird fight.
It just feels a little bit uncoordinated coming out from Ivy. And Alliance are able to back up S4 quite nicely. I feel like there's some weird place you can still do with Underlord, right? If you jump the Underlord and you see your teammates gathered up, surely you can Fiend's Gate to your team's position and have them come in through the portal. Which might have also changed that fight a little bit. It still works out for Alliance in the end. As Ivy... And the only good thing to come out from that is space for Sani. Right? Your Naga hits the Manta, the career respawns. So she's not caught out in that moment of vulnerability for the Naga Siren. She feels a little bit more safe with that item up and running now. But you are going to lose your top tower with no contestation. With your mid gone, invasions into jungle can open up here for Alliance. And we've just seen Pondo more than willing to make these hookshot plays. Again.
There you go. They're on to JMV. JMV's going to drop. Nice easy pick off. In Alliance. Now it's starting to slowly take map control, it seems. Even though the net worth is still kind of the way of Ivy, like... Adi and Zani are still farming extremely well in the Naga Doom. But I suppose the thing is with those heroes, you kind of expect them to be ahead. So when you kind of add up the fact that it's only a 1k lead, it doesn't feel amazing.
No, it doesn't. It's all down to the fact Stoikov has had a really slow game. Like, he's not even going for the Bloodstone at this point. He's got the Blink up on the Lesh, he's going for the Yules. He knows he just kind of needs to survive in the middle, provide some space out for the Naga and the Doom to scale up even more. And that does worry me a bit, because it does feel like the Lesh... It's a pretty heavy tempo here. It does scale into the late game just fine, but you're not going to have that frontline damage as much as you'd hope for in comparison to if you had that rolling start for the Lesh. So you're really going to have to pick it up from your Naga, from your Doom here, to kind of get that damage going, especially onto these tanky heroes. Like, it is still a DK and an Underlord. Sure, S4's been melting recently, but he's got the Hood of Defiance. He's going into the Guardian Greaves. Once he has the pipe up for the team, it doesn't feel feasible to burst any of these heroes down as long as S4's there with the aura.
Oh, mid lane. Smoke has popped. Ponlo, he does break it. S4, though, looking to get caught, but no, the Split Earth does not land. In fact, S4 now going to turn it back around as they've got Stoikov once again, but they need the damage output and they haven't got it. Hanskin is going to drop S4 in danger as he was doomed up, but Ponlo's trying to hold them back, and he actually gets Artie out of this. Ponlo, somehow alive as well, is going to back his way out as they have found another, and it's going to be Sani. He's going to pop his smoke, TP out. He should be okay, and he will be. But somehow that still favors Alliance as they found the Doom for Murata.
And they jumped super deep there from Ivy. Alliance. I mean, it was Ponlo and S4 breaking the smoke from the tree line. And we see Stoikov just kind of jump in, trying to make a play, but that little Tumbler's Toy save from S4 changes that fight, puts him in a very different position, and allows Ponlo to back him up. They go into the Roche off the back of that. They know there's no Doom to worry about in the jump in. They know the Naga's not going to be able to Song Steal. So they'll take that first Aegis for themselves. It's a big win for Alliance. This can allow them to start to look onto Tier 2 objectives quite safe, and continue that invasion on the jungle. They've got the full BKB up for Charlie. Working onto the Ags next. All the timings being met by Alliance and Ivy. And the coordination is, it's just a little bit off the mark. Right? Like, these fights are just not going the way they'd want them to. These smokes are not lining up. And it comes down to how much jump you have, right? Because even if you manage to jump S4, the issue still stands that there's no answer to the sniper here. Outside of just song and run into the sniper, but that's not always feasible.
Top tier 2 tower. Gonna go down here, Alliance. You can deal with it no problem, as it seems like Ivy. They're gonna try and maybe focus down the bottom tier 2 tower. Should have no issues with that either. It's already very, very low, so Zani will just take care of it. Though I say that, Glyph was forced out. Rotations are incoming from Alliance to try and maybe defend this. Zani's sticking around. He does not have Song available. Charlie looking for a nice Dragon Tail. The root is there. They're going to hold him down. The Naga has been caught. Cookie will help out. Zani, though, he really has no great form of escape. They do pop the drums, though. He'll just run. The movement speed bonus is enough to allow him out of there, as they just don't have the lockdown. Instead, J&B will tank the gank here from Alliance and will go down for his side. But at the end of the day, Ivy, they still got away with the tier 2 bottom tower, and oh, Fiend's Gate trying to cut somebody off. They actually got Adi. They got the Doom. Hands up. High fives are given. They'll get an extra piece of the puzzle for their trouble.
You still lose out on this opportunity to kill off Zani, but you find nice Doom kill. It's been slow pace coming up for Zani this time around, for Adi this time around, as he's forced to go into like the semi aura carrier Doom, which is alright, but you know, it stalls out your blink BKB timing, it stalls out the potential Octarine refresh as well with the Yags. So you're not going to be this massive Doom in this game, just running around keeping these targets pinned down. And again, like for the side of Ivy, we haven't seen the connections with these team fights all too well. Like they've got these kisses coming through, they've got this early tempo that can come out from Stoikov, but his farm's just been impacted so badly, and he doesn't have that much room to farm here. Nonetheless, he doesn't have the mana sustain as well with his item build-up to kind of try to clear out. He is going back for the Bloodstone instead of the Yule, so just going back to the more traditional build, but again, the pacing, it's not as fast as you'd hope it to be. And the Lions just keep that aggression going.
Run through the mid lane they go.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's courier has been
Bloodstone has been picked up here on Stoikov, but the jump is there. They caught the snapfire. That'll be Coop gone. Now the chase is on for more. Ponlo looking for a hook shot, finds the perfect target. He got the Naga. Zani does have the song available if he does need to pop it, and probably does. Will commit it immediately and just try to walk away. Keep in mind, does have the TP,
Assassinate.
will commit it, and he's going to be fine. Very close call. JMV, probably not going to be so lucky. He's gone. No way out of this one, I don't think. He's trying his best to give himself an opportunity out of this one, but eventually the battery assault will take him out with Hanskin and the follow-up there on the Mirana.
Yeah. You know what? There's an argument for Sniper Axe this game. Just to deal with the Naga. Like, if she defensively songs out, then, well, Axe Assassinate kind of fixes those issues. Then again, it's heavy
mid lane.
investment for that one.
Charlie. Charlie's just going to man up here. He's got the Fiends Gate right behind him, in fact, so never mind. It's not really a man up, but rather he's just got the whole army incoming. Stoikov's going to join in to try and help out. They're dropping like flies here, Alliance. They need to try and kite in and out of this. Though Zani is dropping rather low himself. They will lose the Aegis though on Chuen. Do they need to? Well, they kind of need to protect. Zani, very fast silence here on the Dragon Knight, but it's not going to be enough. Zani's gone. The Alliance really making use of the Aegis now. Find Stoikov as well. Enjoy, you lose the Aegis, but you get so much out of it.
You see that opportunity to kill off the Naga without the song, and just take it. Ponlo does a fantastic job as well there. Like, he holds back the back line, playing a completely different part of that mid lane, preventing any fall through from Coop. So, really good targeting coming out from Alliance. And Ivy, I mean, this Naga, it has a heart. It's not tanky enough. Like, the heart's great and all, but you've got solutions on Alliance to deal with that hero. You've got the output, you've got the range on the sniper, and Chuen with a Hurricane Pike just gets himself in the right position pretty much every time. He dodged out the split earth coming out from Stoikov, and then he dodges out on his resurrection as well with the Aegis. It's just perfect. That lack of lockdown and jump from Ivy, it's hurting them bad.
It's really starting to affect them quite poorly here. Like Zani on this Naga, this is the classic Naga issue I have. Like this, you can farm as much as you want, you can get as many items as you want, but this hero just feels like it never takes off. You're kind of seeing it, like he's got the heart up, he's got the Orchid, he's got the Manta, but it's like, well, what does it matter if you can't just stand there and fight? I don't know. Top lane, Ivy, grouping up again. They could try onto Hanskin, but he's got 3 leaf charges. He should be just fine to walk away from this. They won't even try for it. They're just going to try and address the wave.
Alliance,
They'll just
equalize
sit
a little
back.
bit more.
Yeah.
No rush. Smoke up on Ivy's end though. They do have Song back up. Doom in 15. So they can try to get something done.
Who can they find though? Like, this is a big smoke to commit. You really don't want to support. You want something a lot bigger than that, but Hanskin's in a very nice position to break the smoke on Zani, and that's going to be it. And they're still trying. Stoikov now breaking his smoke on Ponlo. So Alliance doing a very good job with this support duo of just being in the right position to break all these opportunities for Ivy. Best they get out of this is the outpost to be retaken, but that's... you know, kind of a long stretch from being a big win. Roshan's still got a while away from respawning as well, so you're really getting not too much value out of that outpost being retaken, apart from maybe the XP bonus, maybe the map controllers. Maybe if you're Ivy, you could think about going for another smoke, but it's very challenging against all this vision being provided by the rocket flares, the positioning of Alliance support duo. It's just hard to find a crack in the armor of Alliance at the moment.
Yeah. They're not really able to find it. I mean, with the blink up on Ade, you do want to make a play. This is your reach for the sniper. Just this blink BKB being up on the Doom.
Is under attack.
But they don't have the vision. Like, they have control over the Roche Pit at least, if they can wait that out. It's still 40 seconds until we see the actual respawn timer. And that's where you can start to play a little bit more. But Lions just understand where they're strong. They stick together, they prevent any pickoff play from coming out. And they just keep building up. Like, Chuen's gonna have BKB in a short matter of time. You've already got the Ags up on Charlie going into his own Manta now. So the DK is gonna be massive to deal with in the middle of these team fights. Already sitting at like 3k HP with 27 armor. And you don't have the damage to melt him outside of just Stoikov, but again, he's pretty underfarmed that Lesh.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Bottom T2 tower. Gonna go down here, Chuen. Gonna set up for it. Creeps will get the job done.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
1916, very slight net worth lead as Ivy do the exact same thing across the map. They'll get the tier 2 top tower. Has allowed enough time for Zani to have the Bloodthorn up now. Thing is, like, the damage isn't what's lacking. It just feels like the survivability of Ivy is the real kind of issue here. So many things you have to try and focus on throughout these team fights, and now Chuen's got a full BKB up, so the sniper's going to be a lot more challenging to try and burst down. Is Ivy, I mean, maybe if you can get the Doom off on the sniper, you're kind of laughing, but we haven't seen that all game.
Radiant are scanning.
Here we go. Alliance have smoked up, rushing right towards them with this BKB timing as Hanskin does have his smoke broken. Rocket Flare is going to give vision onto Artie, but instead they're going to have to try and focus on the Snapfire. Secure the kill you can get. As Artie, he's still trying. Ponlo would have to go for a blind hook shot, and he won't bother trying for it. Just try to find another target instead, and they might run right into JMV. Rocket Flare will hand over the vision. Ponlo looking for the angle for the hook shot. He's going to hook onto the enchanted creep. Nice little block there by JMV as now he'll look to turn this one back around. Ponlo still being very annoying just with the Kong standing there. As Zani's going to show up now on the Naga Siren. He'll go for an ensnare onto Hanskin, but S4 is right behind to try and save, and they will do so as he does heal him up. Now JMV's back in the one in trouble as he does get caught out by the cogs and he's going to go down. Meanwhile, Charlie gets doomed up, but he's already in the dragon form. He's got the Ancient Black Dragon going. So now the rest of Ivy just need to run the hell out of there. Zani's moving back in. The Doom's wearing off. I don't know about this. Pitamalis is going to hold him down. Ponlo's going right into the team fight. He'll get a cogs off, but doesn't end up going down. So Ivy have got one for their trouble. They've still got Song. That's actually a very nice setup. But where are you going with this? Where's the follow-up to the Song? They found Chuen. That's what they really wanted. They'll try for the sniper, though he's actually a pretty tanky boy. He survives through a Chuen. He's still fighting back, still trying. Artie's down. Zani's going to move in on the Naga. They do at least get the sniper down. This could be the team fight Ivy's been looking for such a long time. As S4 now going to be targeted. Drop to the Fiend's Gate, but the stun is there. They will take him out. As Ivy finally finding some light at the end of the tunnel. Will have Roshan their way. As Alliance, they do end up losing the team fight.
It's a dragged out team fight. Takes a buyback out from JMV, but it works out in the end. They're not able to fully focus down Zani. And the Doom coming out was actually big. It prevented any sort of plays, so the control from Dragon Tail not coming out in that last fight. Roche, it's falling slowly. They've got the hook on
they're looking to move in. Charlie, he's in.
Oh.
It is picked up by Stoikov. And he'll just run away immediately, or will he? Come back in for Ponlo. Meanwhile, I mean, they've still got Charlie and set up. He'll be forced to pop his BKB to back out of this one. He'll go for a run, but the chase is on. Blink away is there, and he doesn't really have to worry about terrain, so he'll be fine. As now Hanskin gets caught out. We'll pop the Lotus Orb to try and escape, but it will not be good enough. He is gone. Ivy suddenly looking like the stronger team here in this game too.
They're finding their openings. The one thing that you do manage to get there for Alliance is a free shard coming out. And that goes to Chuen. So he has a free concussive grenade despite losing the Roshan, which is pretty big to help the sniper survive through. Like, he did lack some survivability when he was caught in the low ground. If he had something like the concussive onto the high ground, that could have changed that fight pre-Roshan. Side of Ivy. And this is their big spike. Like, this is when the Naga feels scary. It has a decent item lead over anyone else from Alliance right now. At least one big item up with a 4k lead on the Naga. Your team fight's lining up. The Doom is a lot more threatening now with how survivable Ade is. So you can make some plays on that hero. And Alliance, I mean, it's kind of all in on Chuen right now until you get more damage flowing through from Charlie and more durability on the DK. Like, once the Manta's up, the DK starts to feel a lot harder to deal with. And you are close to that timing here, at least for Charlie. You can kind of do a little bit more, but it does feel like as these fights drag on, I mean, with the Bloodstone running on Stoikov, as long as all the heroes of Ivy are on top, you can't really just focus one hero down and burst him. Like, they are durable enough on Ivy to last a long time here.
Here we go. They might look for another fight. Mid lane, S4 showing himself. Cookie will land. All the damage being dealt to S4 already, but it's okay. They won't make the jump in. Just hold back for now. Just trying to maintain that tier 1 mid tower as Stoikov does have a look around with the split earth, but it's going to find nothing. Mid tier 1 is, or rather mid tier 2 is still dropping, but the hook shot is in. Ponlo, he'll try to go after Stoikov, but a nice cookie away. It's going to ensure that Stoikov is perfectly fine, and of course, he still had the Bloodstone BKB and the Aegis all up. So it's very hard to see him dying in that. Still Alliance, they are trying to be the aggressors. JMV going to be spotted. Jump in from Charlie. He's going to land the stun. Hit a Malice there as well, but he's a bit too tanky on the edge right now. He's just going to be force-starving himself out of there.
You're stalling out quite nicely on Ivy. Again, they're trying to scale into this game now. I like the build-up coming out from Zani. Going for the Hex on the Naga. That's the hard control they really need when they want to go for this song, aggressive song play on to maybe chase down Chuen. That Hex makes all the difference. Chuen is not that durable in the front line. S4 and Charlie can hold out a lot better, but once that sniper is just collapsed on, he pretty much just folds. And Ivy have a good read on that with his build-up here from Zani. Ada is going for the typical Octarine, so the lower cooldown will be on hand. There's the Hex buyout for Zani. Stoikov as well working on a Hex. So you have the control flowing in for Ivy and Alliance. I mean, it's still there, but they haven't been able to find any of these pickoffs that they've been gunning for earlier on. And if they can't do that, then in these wider team fights, it just feels so much harder to manage Ivy now. They've got the AoE damage, they've got control, they've got the output.
They're going to try for a big smoke up Alliance. And they're still trying to hold on to that tier 2 mid tower. Suddenly all these team fights seem a lot more stressful for them. Ivy will take the outpost away. The Radiant outpost taken here by Ivy now. Still 50 seconds left for the Aegis timing here on Stoikov, so he wants to go ASAP. But they won't want to force it either, right? Because one bad team fight and the game switches back the other way immediately. Problem is as well, you're up against this Aghanim Scepter Clockwork, so the Rocket Flare vision is going to be somewhat insane. Can't really underestimate the amount of damage you can deal as well if you're in close range. You just deal 600 magic damage every couple seconds. It's not very fun to play against. But they won't be able to find the smoke fight they wanted. Aegis is going to expire in 15, so it's all too late here for Ivy to try and take advantage of that Aegis timing. But they can just buy more time for Zani though. Like, he is just so farmed now on the Naga. He's just well and truly ahead of everybody.
Yeah. And he's been given room to just kind of grow into this point as well. Like, he's managed to save himself with that song multiple times now inside of Alliance. The one thing for them is, as this game drags on, you do have really good high ground defense. You've got Underlord, you've got Sniper. You can stall this game out as long as you possibly could imagine. So
S4.
We're kind. Oh.
Yeah, top lane. He's already been caught out here. S4 is going to drop. Ivy. Another kill here for Zani on the Naga. Alliance. Gonna want to fight with that S4. We'll try and back their way out. Make sure he doesn't get forced to buy back here if they can avoid it. They're trying to hold the Radiant Triangle underneath their own vision. Thing is, if a fight breaks out, S4 has to buy it back, I think. So they are going to spot them out now, but they're looking to jump in. Charlie, he'll make the jump in on JMV, and JMV's gone. Alright, maybe they can fight. It's a 4v4 now. Ivy just kind of getting caught with their pants down. They'll lose their wrench. And Roshan, it's still 2 minutes away from even thinking about respawning, so no point even trying for that yet.
Radiant's middle tower
And that last jump on S4, they did reveal the Hex on Zani.
Oh, mid lane, Ponlo gonna get caught. Lotus Orb is there to try and help out, but he is gone. Arrow in the meantime does land onto Stoikov, but the song is out immediately. Zani not risking anything, but he might stick around and go for a bit of a fight. But no, it seems like they'd rather just back out of there. Kind of get the reset going, come back another day. It is, of course, all going to be about the next Roshan here for both sides. So no need to force anything if you don't have to.
Yeah. No need to play too impatiently here for either side. You want to be kind of ready for that next big objective. Should line up with around when Sani gets his next song up. You didn't have to expend Doom there on Adi as well. So you've got that ready. And the Hex pickup on Sani's just been massive. Like, he can blink in, Hex, start these fights on his own, get the follow-through from his team without having to expend the Doom out as well. And the side of Alliance, I mean, their draft now just feels a little bit more passive. They're forced to sit back, wait. They need more farm to come true on Chu-En. He is going for a Lincoln Sphere for protection now. And that should make it a lot harder to pin down that sniper once it's up and running. But the Octarine's ready for Ade. Doom's going to be up a lot more frequently now. They're going to be able to kind of throw it out a lot more as well. Like, they've been much more conservative on the Doom usage here. Octarine tends to let you worry about that much less, especially once you hit your level 20 talent as well, which isn't quite up yet. A bit early on the Rose check for Alliance. See if they get lucky with a fast timer. Ivy are ready to fight into that, though. Like, they are fully set.
Alliance are the ones set up here, John. They've got their vision down. Looks like they want to try and go again, and JMV's already been caught out. I believe I heard a Doom in the backside. Who'd they catch? It is Ponlo trying to make the jump in onto the Naga. Zani, though, just going to turn right back around. It's going to be a 1-for-1 to start things off for Ponlo. No, never mind. Ponlo's still alive. Instead, the Doom is out onto Chuen now. They've got the sniper. They'll lock him down with the ensnare, but they need to get within range because Chuen is just fighting back. He won't mind. It's 2-for-0 so far in the favor of Alliance. They will look for another. They have found Zani and the Naga Siren. Arrow is going to connect. Zani, a sitting duck right now, still has the song available, but Charlie's popped the BKB. He couldn't care less for the song. They have got the Naga, and suddenly they can go for a lot more. The snap fire down as well. John, Zani doesn't have buyback goal.
Yeah, he bought out the Swift Blink. No buyback.
No.
At the least, Roshan's a little bit off. You will respawn in time for that objective, so you're only going to lose your last outer tower, which honestly isn't as painful as losing Roshan. So there is still some silver linings left for Ivy. For Alliance, the Moonlight Shadow just saved Ponlo. Him and his Force Staff bailing out. They didn't have dust on hand, or at least the supports weren't close enough to spot Ponlo out. He survived in a sliver of HP. And it just feels awful, because the sniper, the Clockwork stands back, he has Overclock, he has a Rocket Flare to apply. Deep jump from Charlie, but they're making the most out of this opening. Like, they know Roche isn't quite up yet, but they can find at least a tower, maybe even a Rax if they force the issue.
Tier 3 tower gone now. Alliance, they're getting a lot more than just the tier 2 here. Ivy, this is kind of what we talked about, like one bad team fight and suddenly Alliance, they will just start breaking high ground. Charlie looking like an absolute beast here on the Dragon Knight. That mid-rax, it is going to drop. And Alliance, they will back their way out, no problem right afterwards. Ivy now, nowhere near out of this game yet, but again, it just feels like a bit of a repeat of what happened last time around, as the Stoikov actually picks up the old axe now. So Nihilism's up here on the Leshrac.
Yeah, that can be useful, especially with his blink. If you can jump in when the BKBs fade or while the Doom's running, and you apply Nihilism onto Chuen, that could be one way to turn these fights around. Just that the angle has to be clean here from Ivy.
I mean, Schwen's right there. They don't see him yet, but he is well and truly available to be taken out. The Naga Siren illusions, we'll see him now.
Oh.
Jump in is there. They'll try. Ade, he's out with the Doom out. It has caught on to Chuen, but he got his BKB off in time, so he's just fighting back. It's a huge mess in the mid lane, but it seems to favor Alliance. Or does it? The Sniper now in trouble. They've locked down Chuen. They'll have their way with him. Meanwhile, though, Charlie, he'll just keep going. He wants that Leshrac real damn bad, and they'll find Stoikov, and now they're onto the Naga Siren. Kisses pop,
what?
song cancelled. It's still such a mess of a fight. Zani's trying to deal with Charlie, but Charlie pops the BKB in that dragon form, and now Zani's a sitting duck. No cookie available. He'll have to run the old-fashioned way. Rather, no song available. The arrow does connect. Arrow connects as well, and oh, the Naga's gone. Zani, he's trying to run, but there's no way out. He is going to drop. Another lost team fight here for Ivy.
They go all in. They have the right idea, jump to end, but they pour all their resources on that and ignore Charlie, who is honestly scaling up to be the real carry here. I mean, they canceled Song to make use of Kisses, but then you're stuck in such a forward position on Naga that you just fall. And they're just going to take another set of racks off the back of this. Alliance not gunning for the tier 4s. Maybe expecting buybacks to be ready, but there's no such thing on Ivy. Could have maybe gone for the end game, but we'll play it safe. Roshan is still up as well if they want to go back for that. And we'll just find a bot set of racks. Overwhelming blood for Charlie as well. He's going for more?
No, he changes his mind. Changes his mind. Like you said, Roshan's still up, John. They'll just go for the safer option here, I think. Ponlo? Gonna have a disconnection. Nothing cheeky going on here with old Ponlo.
It's always the Southeast Asians as well. Get to lag out.
Yeah, but he's using Swedish internet, isn't he?
Yeah, but I know he's
he
cursed. He's cursed or something. Ponlo just attracts that kind of fortune, I guess.
Yeah.
Likes a bit of a handicap, you know. He likes playing on 10 FPS, I'm sure.
Reconnection is there. Looks like the go-ahead is up. It seems like Ivy now the ones that aren't quite ready, as Ponlo's already kind of given the go-ahead, so well, maybe Ivy. Never know, Stoikov could be having another internet issue, maybe just having a quick chat with each other, trying to figure out what the hell's happened in this game number 2, because again, it's just kind of rough seeing how well they were going. I mean, just everything was just their way, but unable to hold on to the lead that they had. Alliance kind of...
that. Just Fiend's Gate into Roshan.
Of course.
Gotta appreciate that. I still swear, there's some sneaky plays you can do with Underlord that we just haven't seen yet. Like, can you imagine a reverse smoke play? You smoke up 4 of your members in the team in the fountain, you run up with your Underlord in the dumbest position, pretend like you're gonna die, drop the Fiend's Gate to base, think that, oh, he's gonna try to run away, then your entire team comes through. Right? Like, that's a play. Why don't we see that? Like, there's some creative it's pretty hard to execute, to be fair, but if we see that, no, I'm going to tip my hat to that team, because that's exactly what I fantasize Underlord. That's all I think about, Mike.
That's actually what I think about every time, though. The Underlord picks up is like, how many plays have no, that's a garbage play, John. But the
no, it's big.
The Fiend's Gate. Like, how many plays could you do with the Fiend's Gate that just haven't been done? It's like there's just so many different kind of possibilities with this ultimate. It's one of the spells I just hope doesn't get changed in the next big patch, right? Because it's like, this spell has a lot of utility and a lot of potential. It's like, I just want to see what it can actually do.
Yeah, I think Underlord's laning is just atrocious, so we'll have to see that change. But overall...
Stoikov, he's right in. Stoikov is seemingly dead, but he pops the Bloodstone, he's alive. He'll keep going with the Nihilism. Ponlo will hookshot him up. Stoikov will finally go down, but he has buyback if he needs it, and he will pop it immediately.
Sure.
Zani's been targeted. They can't really afford to lose the Naga right now. The buyback, though, so far kind of being wasted as Charlie. No, never mind. He jumps back in. Double stun is there with the AoE Dragon Tail and the Arrow to land. They've got a couple. The Snapfire is still locked down as the song is finally going to wear off here from Zani. But it just seems like they can't really stop Alliance from pushing this top racks now. Stoikov pops the BKB, trying to rush it onto S4. S4 being forced off back the way of his team. They are still chasing with the Nihilism now popped. Everyone being ghost formed here in Ethereal, but the arrow's going to land. They've got the left rack locked down for a little bit. Ponlo will go down, but there goes Stoikov. He just dies back. And now with Zani just trapped up on the Naga, nowhere to go but down. He should just die, and he will. No buyback. Ponlo buys back though. He'll get a nice hook shot, but the GG's called. Alliance have got this one 2-0 as Ivy. Well, these have been some pretty rough losses here, John, because again, every game that we watched today from the